So why the 50-pound bag of sugar? Because this is the minimum amount of sugar that is ingested over the course of a year by somebody who lives in the US. Look at the size of this and ponder this for a minute. This is the minimum amount, right? The Department of Health Services in New Hampshire estimates that US persons actually ingest more like 150 pounds. We are probably ingesting something which is in the middle, right? Somewhere between 50 pounds a year and 150 pounds a year. This is such a compelling issue, I decided to take my question, or take this issue of how much sugar a US resident eats in a year, to the streets and ask random people what they thought. How much sugar do you think the typical US resident consumes in 1 year in pounds?
I would say 5 to 10 pounds.
A normal person, a regular person, I say 20.
I heard it was like more than a pound of sugar.
Probably 300 pounds.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's about 5,000 pounds. I know it's really high.
As you can see, there's a lot of confusion about how many pounds of sugar that we consume in 1 year. So let's talk about the numbers now. So how the sugar number is calculated matters. On one end of the spectrum, we have various groups and organizations and associations that are calculating this value based solely on added sugar. You have a cup of coffee and you add a teaspoon of sugar to it. This would be an added sugar. Or you crack open a soda and drink it down, and the soda has added sugar in it. On the other hand, we have the groups or the associations that are making this calculation based on the total number of carbohydrates that are ingested on a daily basis that we find in processed food. So on the high end, we are going to start with the New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services, and they calculate that the amount of ingested sugar per year by a human resident is 152 pounds. Next on the list, we have Statistica and the Diabetes Council that calculate that the average US resident is eating 102 pounds of sugar per year. We have the American Heart Association that's estimating the annual consumption at 60 pounds. This is followed by the Angeles Institute and the Sugar Science Institute, which are estimating the annual consumption of sugar at 57 pounds. And finally, we have the CDC that's estimating the yearly consumption of sugar at 27 pounds. So therefore, the average pounds of sugar ingested by the US resident, taken as an average of all 7 sources that I just discussed, is 70 pounds. So why the 50-pound bag of sugar, Dr. Pete? Because this big fatty bag is representative of the amount of sugar that the typical US resident eats in 1 year. And sugar is the driving force of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. So the solution to those chronic diseases is simple. We need to ditch the sugar as a first step, a first initial step. So stay tuned for our sugar challenge. Stop the sugar challenge. Details coming soon.